So I just got back from my writing class and we watched a video today. We watched this thing called a TED Talk. And for those of you who don't know what a TED Talk is, it's basically a website where people post videos or where they have videos where people talk about ideas, opinions, information, all sorts of things that are going on that they've observed, lots of things. So if that sounds interesting to you, you should actually go check it out. I'll make sure that there's a link somewhere here for you to click on so you can check it out. So my professor gave us a question: how has technology changed us, or how is technology changing us? And the talk we watched was called Connected But Alone by Sherry Turkle. Now the talk as a whole was basically about how technology is changing human interaction, both in a positive and negative way. I'm not going to go too in depth into what it was on because I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. But if you would really like to see the talk in full, you should go to the TED Talk website to check it out. I'll probably put a link somewhere here on screen for you to go watch it. And I'm not saying that I agree or disagree completely with the video as a whole. I just want to talk about one main idea that she used to support her argument throughout the entire talk, which was that many people now are preferring to use texting, emailing, some form of electronic chat to communicate other than face-to-face talking. And I hear that a lot today. When she stated this, she was talking about it in the population as a whole. And that got me thinking. Now, I'm not going to speak for the population as a whole. I'm going to speak for the demographic that I'm thinking of, which is basically high school age and college student age. Basically ages of 15 to around 22, 23, somewhere in that area. For the younger generation, for those younger than that demographic, I'd say yes, they need to have much more face-to-face conversation. They shouldn't be able to have to just rely on texting and emailing all the time. No, you are 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. You need to be having face-to-face conversation. At that age, you don't necessarily need a phone or anything. Those older than this demographic that I've said, they don't necessarily, the same goes with them, although not the same way as it does for the younger ones. You have not grown up with this technology, so you are already accustomed to, have already grown up with face-to-face interaction. So the issue of balancing those two should not be an issue at all for you. Now on to the demographic that I said I was going to talk about, mine. So often from my family, especially my mom, they always tell me whenever I'm at a gathering or something, they say, you're always on your phone. You need to stop texting people all the time. You need to have a face-to-face conversation or talk to someone on the phone. You can't always have a text-oriented thing. And it's especially an issue with my mom and I, because whenever it's gotten to the point where if I'm in the car or if I'm with my mom, she gets on me or hounds me every time I pull out my phone. And I know that a lot of people my age and a lot of people in this demographic that I'm talking about have the same problem, whether it be parents, teachers. They all say we spend too much time texting and not enough time talking face to face. Now, what I'm saying next is going to apply to me personally, definitely, and with probably most of those in this demographic. I'm in a lot of group chats. So I have group text with my friends here in San Antonio where I am. I have group text with the group for the channel back in Houston. And I'm talking to a lot of people at once via my phone. So I'm texting a lot of people. So we can't do face-to-face conversation with all these people at once. Texting is great for this because I can communicate with several people at once. I can't have a group. People say we should have a group phone call. Well, with the people for this channel, I'm in San Antonio and I'm back in class right now. Everyone else in the group is on spring break right now. So, but when we're not during that time, I can't just have, hey, we're gonna have like a conference call with the group. I can't expect all members of the group to just put down whatever they're doing and just pick up the phone at that time. So it's much better to have the group chat where I can just text And if I need to talk to two specific people, I can send it to those two, or the whole group as a whole. Everyone can see it in their time. Now, another aspect of it I want to say is definitely because around family and parents, a lot of people our age, we don't want to have a phone call because of text. As ironic as it seems, text messaging, chat messaging, it's a bit more private than having an open phone call. Now, that may not seem like it because, hey, someone gets your phone, they'll read over all of your messages. But I can put a lock on my phone. I can lock my phone, and although people can get past that, they'll have to actually go through the trouble of doing that. With an actual phone call, if I'm going to have a conversation, it's going to be out loud. And if I'm in a public place, and I'm talking about something I don't want other people to hear other than the person I'm talking to, I'm going to text that person. I'm not going to make the call and be like, yeah, blah, 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 something private out in public like that. You don't do that. For me, mainly, it's one thing with like a sense of humor. I can talk, the jokes that I make with my friends aren't jokes that I would make around my family and adults that I know, because we have a different sense of humor. Different age groups will have a different sense of humor. So I know people in my generation, we text and we don't do phone calls because we don't want to have to explain or be judged by others. And that's one of the reasons that I think texting and chatting has become, chatting over technology has become so much more prominent than face-to-face conversation nowadays, because we don't want to be judged by what other people hear. If someone else may not agree with what we say, we don't want to be judged by that person for what we said. Now, I know that part about the judgment doesn't just apply to my demographic of my friends and I and the people I know. That applies also to the older people, to the older demographic that I was talking about. And yes, many people don't want to be judged for what they're saying. That's why we prefer chat and texting to out loud conversations. So while it is true to say that technology is changing the way we communicate with one another, and that we are starting to really lose, we're not starting to lose face-to-face communication, but we're using it much less. But it's not necessarily to say that it's a bad thing. Now, face-to-face communication, do not take what I've said before wrongly. It is of vital importance. You can't always send a text to someone. When you have a business meeting, when you're taking care of a vital transaction, it's most likely going to take place face-to-face. But for personal conversations, yes, I'd say texting and chatting over phone, email, anything is preferable, because you don't have to worry about, again, being judged for what you think or what you believe, which is a major issue in today's society, is that we judge people based on what they believe, who they are. Anything about them can be judged, and that it shouldn't be that way. We shouldn't have to live that way, but that's the way it is. Truth. Really, all I have to say on the topic for now. Yeah, it was still a really interesting video. Like I said, go watch the full thing. It's in the description. I'm not going against what was said in the TED Talk. I actually thought it was really interesting, and some valid points were made. But it was that specific part of the talk that really was not unsettling, but really struck me, as I hear it said by many people all the time, that kids, teenagers, young adults, we need to get off of our phones, stop texting people, and just go out and have a real conversation. And that there's a reason behind why we aren't going out and having face-to-face conversations in places. Oh, before I go, channel update. Like I said, I'm just finished spring break, so I'm back in class. I'm gonna be busy for a while, but I will be doing my vlogs again, videos like this one, videos on not so serious topics to me, and whatever I get, people give me ideas for, or I get an idea for. There will be probably some footage from the group uploaded during this week, since they're all on spring break. They're gonna hang out, probably do some stuff. That'll be good. I have a couple projects I'm working on. I got a guitar cover I'm working on. I just looked over at my guitar because I was like, this is a rough one. It's not one of the ones I mentioned before, actually. It's one that I just decided on today that I'm definitely going to work on, definitely going to do, and it's going to be a rough one for me to learn. I'm also going to do vocals for it when I post the video, and it'll be really, really cool. And I think that's all I have for now. So see you later.